You talked about working with construction firms, and you talked about people going out of the country and eating at McDonald's because we know what to expect at McDonald's. And the connection is people want to know what to expect, but when they're hiring someone to remodel their kitchen or to put up an apartment building, they don't really know all the questions to ask. What do you recommend to construction firms, for example, in terms of how to proactively educate their prospects about what to expect in the process so they can influence the yes-no decision?
That is a great question. Yes, I do have a book on how to hire a contractor. And
we can apply that to ourselves as well. It's
yes.
about controlling expectations.
Now, from the construction company standpoint, I work with them on the entire customer experience. Everything from the very first phone call that comes in, what is said, who do they talk to, why do they talk to them, how long does it take to get somebody there, how is the quote delivered? How do they present the quote? Because that is key. It's interesting. There are some companies that email the quote and they say, well, if you can't open it, I'm dropping it in the mail too. Seriously? Do you not want the business? And then after that, how do you work with them throughout the project? How do you touch base with them? So working with them on the whole customer cycle. And then also follow up. Once the job is complete, especially in construction, the job's never 100% complete. You know something's going to happen later on down the road. And how do you follow up with them? How do you make sure everything is to their standards? And how do you find out what are the problems that the customer did not want to talk about at that time? And that's also where bringing somebody in to do an external survey is going to get more information.
But more literally, for us dealing with our prospects, that perhaps they've not hired someone to do what it is we do, would you recommend that we proactively say the process is going to look like this, at this point we will do blah, blah? I mean, is that part of what you're advocating here, the absence of employees who are interacting with the customer as we manage the whole shebang ourselves?
I would recommend it. It's going to provide security, especially from a solopreneur standpoint. When you hire an individual, or when people hire an individual, there can be more of a risk because you don't have that big name recognition behind you. So if you are able to lay out even general statements saying, you know, here's first steps that we're going to go through, and just so you understand, here's a little bit why we're going to do it. Then after that, this will happen, and then this. And be able to always answer that question, why. My favorite word in the world is why.